we were one of the unfortunate ones that got stuck in that storm, 2017. And I had like 2 feet of water and disgusting stuff in my basement. And after they'd cleaned everything up and everything, like we had not flooded in 30 years. I mean, this was crazy. So it was decided we should have a sump pump and a backwater valve, right? But everywhere I called, they were way too busy. They would put the phone down or, oh, go to the website, go to this portal, you know, whatever, which I don't understand. So I'd seen, I think the young man's name is Ben, on the television. And I thought, you know what, I'll give him a call. And, you know, my neighbours were going, oh, it's so expensive. And I said, you know what, I'm going to try. So I had to leave a message, but then they got back to me within, I would say, an hour. And I think I talked with a young lady called Tara, I think it was. She answered all my questions. And she said, I'm really sorry, Hazel. She said, we're so backed up. I can't send anyone out until January. I think this was like October, November. I said, okay, as long as I've got an appointment, someone's coming. And then 2 weeks before Christmas that year, she said, oh, I've got an opening, will you take it? And I said, absolutely. When Carl came and he sat down at this very table and went through everything with me. And I asked about a few products I'd sort of seen on television, because it wasn't just the, like the tray that they do around. There were things like the walls and all that. So, you know, so anyway, I wanted the best sump pump, and he said, are you sure about this? You know, I usually talk people up to this with, that is what I want, you know. So okay, fine, you know. How's your husband going to be with this? I said, absolutely fine. I said, he thinks we're still going to be able to get estimates. I said, there's no way. So we went through everything. He detailed that we would have to dig like a little trough all the way around the basement and then put the sump pump in and the backwater valve. And then, we did the shiny silver stuff on the wall, so all the water would drain into the trees. And they were fabulous. They did actually turn up in February, and it was as cold as all get out. Oh, it was so cold. But they came in, they sealed all the doors by the basement for me with plastic, because I don't have doors. This is this open plan thing I want, you know. So they did all the sealing and everything. And they told me when they were going to be noisy, when they weren't going to be noisy, when the electrics had to go up, whatever. They told me, which was wonderful, because then I knew. And, you know, if I was, you know, feeling like the noise was driving me nuts, friends would take me out and stuff. So it was great. And they were done, I think, within 2 days. The only thing they couldn't do was put the sump pump pipe outside, because it was February and they couldn't get a shovel in the ground, right? So, you know, there was a discussion about that. And this young fella, I think his name was Jason, he goes under the porch, you know, he goes, you know, we could put it under the porch. And I'm kind of going, that's a good idea. I have a really lovely neighbor next door, but her driving's a little off, and sometimes I find her halfway on my lawn when she parks. So we put the pipe underneath the porch, and then he said when they come back in the spring, they'd finish it off, put it under the garden. And they did. They came back in, I think it was May, and did it and put the little guard on. And my grandchildren love it. You know, every time there's a storm now, they go over to the porch and they're watching for the water to come bubbling out. You know what I mean? So, and I'm thinking, you know, I didn't have a sump pump before. Where was all that water going? And, you know, the basement just smells so much better. It's cleaner somehow, drier. And then that's what we had this year. I called Carl again, and I wasn't too sure about the dehumidifier. And I said, well, you did offer me one last year. You know, he said, oh yeah, we can still do that. And so when they came to do the 1-year annual inspection, they came and brought the dehumidifier as well. And so that's good, because the old Canadian Tire one I had was garbage, let's put it that way. And honestly, I'm more than thrilled. Everybody's been super, you know, calling afterwards to check up to make sure everything was fine. A wonderful experience. Everybody was professional, polite, kind, you know, which is really, you know, because again, I'm going through all this stuff, you know, but people were so kind and so nice, and, you know, and I truly appreciated that. And as I say, this lady would talk to me on the phone, all these other companies, but oh, we're too busy, you know. And it's like, I know they were too busy, but like at least talk to me. You know, maybe they couldn't give me an appointment, but like your young lady said, you know, it would be 2 months from now, it would be January. And then it was brought forward, which I am very thankful for. So by February, middle of February, everything was done. And then it was like, I think June before we could get the other contractor to come in and finish the walls, you know, as the insurance wanted. So everything is fantastic. And that's the first thing people say, oh, the expense. And I go, you know, you pay for what you get. And I invite them in. I show them what they've done. And, excuse me. And, you know, they're just amazed. So I don't know whether anybody has called or not, but I have definitely done that. Because this area that they keep saying we're going to have more storms, more bad rainfalls, this, what do you call it, climate change thing, you know, and as I say now when it rains, I'm not freaking, oh, what's happening in the basement, because nothing is happening. Absolutely. I hear the pumps going, and as I say, if I look out on the porch, I can see the water bubbling out. So it's just a whole peace of mind thing. And, you know I can go to bed, it can rain like the dickens, unless we have a flood like Noah, of course, you know, and even then I'm sure we'd be fine. You know, everything is fine, but I have recommended more than one person, absolutely.